Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Police Accountability Show. Remember, when you watch the Police Accountability Show, you agree to being offended. And as well as nothing that you see on the Police Accountability Show constitutes legal advice in any way, shape, or form, please reach out to a local lawyer for your local laws. And welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Police Accountability Show. I'm your host, Chad Christophers, and today's topic is police receipts. When you have an encounter with the police, should you be given a receipt every single time? The answer is yes. We are not, as citizens in the street, carrying pens and pencils and papers and all the stuff to document our lives that we need, right? And these are legal encounters that we're having with these police officers, right? They should not be hiding their identity to us, who they are or what they're doing there. Every single time that we have an encounter with a police officer where they're questioning us or we're involved in what's going on, they should be absolutely giving us receipt. I found an actual copy of receipt for the police in the area I live in, for the Toronto Police. And you can see here, community/officer contact receipt. You see here on the, oops, I pointed the wrong way. It's actually over on this side. And you can see, the name of person spoken to, and this is great. This would be great information to have, later on. You run into an officer, he asks you questions. This door swings both ways. I'm sure there's been times where officers have asked us questions and we don't remember who we talked to, right? What if an officer comes up to us, asks us questions in investigation, at any time? Then that officer supplied that person with a contact receipt, as it's called here on my screen, then I would have remembered who the officer was. I could contact them with more information. They do have cards for that. Detectives gives you cards. Regular officers do have cards, but you have to ask specifically for them. You have to ask for their name and badge number when I believe it should be given. Every counter where I do a transaction and the police are there being paid by the government should have a receipt, should have a paper record showing. It should say the name, my name, the badge name. You know what I mean? The information of both parties, the date, the time, the location, and what they were there for, right? And having this information, and the officer and the person involved having a copy of this would be advantageous for both of us. It helps me as a citizen prove who I talk to, when I talk to, in case there's trouble, in case I need that officer's notepad, or I need to ask that officer questions. What if it's the other way around and that officer asks me questions about something very important, an important investigation, and it's 2 days later and I remembered, oh my God, I made this connection. I remembered, I had this epiphany. I remember this detail, but wait, who did I talk to? I talked to officer in a uniform 2 days ago in this area. Good luck, right? You might be able to find the person. You might. You probably won't, though. There are thousands of officers in any given area, and they unfortunately have the same matching description, not that they don't use that with us enough, right? So I believe that they should give a contact receipt at every single encounter, explaining, not going into details explaining what happened and all the finer details, but this would be advantageous for both sides, and police may not be seeing it from the other side. So what do you think? Do you think the police should be giving out contact receipts at every single contact? Because I do. I think it would be helpful in both ways, right? Because that's what the police are there to do, is to protect and enforce the law. Well, they need the people's cooperation for that, and having their information to get their cooperation when we need them as well works both ways. So I'm for a contact receipt at every single encounter, and I think there should be a consequence for the non-exchange of information, because they want our ID and information. Well, we should be able to take their ID and information no different, so we know who we're talking to, right? It's only fair, and as well as contact receipts for all. That's my vote, and there should be a consequence to the officer for not handing out the contact receipt. You know, why are they concealing their identities? Even when I last went to the police station and I was wearing a camera because, you know, when I had the attempted murder a while ago, and the officer actually went and folded back his jacket so I couldn't see his name. Not kidding you. So they at every point of contact will do everything they can to conceal their name. But when we do it, when the public or citizens do it, we're bad guys. So double standard there, 100%. We should have contact receipts. This is Chad Christophers with Police Accountability. Don't work too hard.